and welcome to the Black Wellness Exchange podcast. I'm your host, Symone, and let's get right into it, right? So, let me ask you something real quick. What area of your life feels like it's slowly falling apart, even if no one else sees it? So, a lot of times when we think about wellness, we tend to think of, I'm gonna just go to the gym real quick, right? I'm gonna eat. Let me go to the spa real quick. Let me get a massage. Give me a haircut. Get my foots done. Right? Let me eat better. Let me get me a smoothie. Those type things. But it is understood that wellness is actually a lot bigger than that. So last week we talked about it, but today we're gonna break it down a little bit more, right? So last week we talked about the 8 dimensions of the wellness wheel, right? And in those 8 dimensions, because like I said, most of the times when we think about wellness, we only think about the one, physical. But it's more than physical. It's emotional, right? Let me get my mind, right? Let me emotionally, making sure that we emotionally regulate in situations that trigger us or that we're not flying off the handle and taking things stronger than they need to be, right? Taking things out of context, right? Emotional wellness, then we got financial wellness, making sure your money, right? Social wellness, making sure the people that you hang with, you hear me? Making sure the people that you hang with, the places that you go to, that you socially well, we spiritually well, whatever that looks like for you. Your higher being, your God, whoever you pray to, or if you pray, whatever it looks like, your spiritual practices, whatever that wellness look like, making sure that you're spiritually well. Occupational wellness, making sure that your job is working out for you, that you're well in that area. Intellectually wellness, you're well, making sure that your thoughts are clear and not foggy, right? That they come from a place where you thought about the answer as opposed to you didn't think and you acted, right? Environmental wellness, where you live at, where you going, right? Where you put your body, environmental wellness. And of course, we talked about physical wellness because it's more than just physical wellness. Wellness is more than just physical, right? So let me say something. When one of these areas is off, right, the others start to take effect. You didn't realize that? Let me say that again, right? Because you might not even realize it. When one of these areas is off, the other areas start to take effect. The other areas start to feel it, right? Let me break it down for you. So, like I said, we talked about the 8 dimensions, right? But for the sake of this example, right, we're gonna talk about four. And we're gonna talk about some of these warning signs that are quietly breaking you down. So let's talk about it. Emotional wellness. What are some of the warning signs that emotionally you're not well? Feeling overwhelmed? Yeah, that's one. If they add one more thing to my plate, I promise I'm gonna lose it. If one more car cut me off, I promise I'm gonna lose it. If this child leave a mess in this kitchen one more time, I promise I'm gonna lose it. Feeling overwhelmed. You can't add anything else to your plate. It's too much going on. Burnt out where you just have no energy to do nothing. No satisfaction in nothing. Over it. Right? And then what's another warning sign that you're emotionally unresolved trauma, right? Things happened in the past or in the past that hasn't been taken care of. You was in a car accident and now you jumpy every time you in the car. You don't go outside because you might have been robbed. I don't know, right? You might have been physically abused in a non-consensual or non-consensual things happen to you. You know what I'm talking about? Unresolved trauma. These are examples of warning signs that emotionally you're not well, right? So a lot of people out here are functioning, but they're not actually okay. They're not, right? So what about financial wellness? What about that? Oh man, what are some warning signs that financially you might be out of it, right? Let's see. Oh, what about those overdraft fees at the bank? Them overdraft fees at the bank. What about, oh, when you got bill collectors calling, I ain't got it. That's a sign that you're not financially well. What about when y'all do the payday loan, financially not well. Because the payday loans, you got 200% that you paying back. You borrow $5 and you pay back 5,000. You follow what I'm saying. Your financial wellness is taking a hit. These are some warning signs, right? Financial stress quietly seeps into every part of your life. It does, right? And these are some of the signs. So what about socially? Because again, financially, your money ain't right. Socially, you may not even want to hang out with your people. Because your people might like to go out to eat, or might like to go to the mall, or might like to buy something. You may not have the money. And because financially you're having all the warning signs. Socially, what happens? You start the warning signs of socially being off. You isolate. You don't want to hang with nobody because financially you off. Or just in general, you don't want to hang with nobody. Isolated. Or when you do hang with people, you have shallow connection, right? Shallow connections. We're not hanging with authentic people that could be real with you, that try to be genuine with you, right? We have shallow connections, right? Or what about loneliness? When we're feeling loneliness, we're just lonely, right? These are warning signs that socially you're not well, right? You could be surrounded by people and still feel alone. That's a warning sign. And then, of course, occupational wellness, where the job is just not fulfilling, but you feel stuck because you got a mortgage that you got to keep paying every month, and you got childcare that you got to pay every week. So you're feeling a bit stuck at the job, right? Or maybe lack of purpose. Might be working in something that's not your field, right? Lack of purpose. Not doing what you feel you're called to do. I don't know what the purpose is, right? But these are some warning signs that occupationally we're not well. Sometimes the things that are slowly breaking your life down might not even be your life. It might be the environment that you're in, that you're trying to survive in every day. Environmental wellness is real. Making sure that we are aware of the warning signs. And the warning signs could look like your safety is a concern. You live in somewhere where your safety is at risk, right? Because of the violence in the community. Or in the house, there's violence going on in the house. This is a warning sign that environmentally we're not well. Or I used to live in Georgia back in the day. I had trees surrounding my house. Environmentally, I was suffering because my allergies, I was suffering. It was in my environment. It was beautiful to look at, but environmentally, I wasn't well because it did not treat me nice. I was suffering. So I offer this to you. I want you to reflect a little bit, give you some time, right, to think about some things. Take a moment. I want you to be honest with yourself when you ask yourself this question. What area of wellness in your life needs attention right now? Right now. Think about it. I like to hear what area it is in the comments, but I want you to think about it. And I want to encourage you to really sit down with yourself and be honest about what that area it is, right? Now, I want to invite you to take some action. We're not talking about big action because understand the goal isn't to fix everything overnight. It isn't. Why? Because everything didn't happen to you overnight. It didn't. There was some signs and symptoms. We talked about the signs, right? Talked about those warning signs. There were some warning signs to let you know that I should probably pay attention to this instead of sweeping it under the rug or ignoring it. I'm just saying, we're trying to help you out, right? So let's take some action steps here, right? Because again, we understand that it didn't happen overnight. But the goal is really awareness. We want to create awareness for something that we can take some actionable steps on, right? So first things, I want you to ask yourself these three questions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You ready? First thing, what are my struggle areas? I need you to identify your areas that you're struggling. For me, it was finances. It was. 2, I want you to be honest about why your struggle area is your struggle area. For me, but finances was a struggle area because as a child, I was taught very early on that money was only for responsibilities. It wasn't for fun. Your money is only for responsibilities only. Well, damn, I don't always want to be responsible. I don't always want to pay bills, right? But I also understand that it has to have a healthy balance. I wasn't taught what that healthy balance was. So, me being honest about why my finances were a mess is because I wasn't taught how to have a balance. And then, three, choose one small action step you could take this week. For me, it started with Starbucks. It did. Starbucks and going out to eat. It did because it seemed like I wanted to go out to eat. I wanted to go to Starbucks for breakfast. I wanted to go get lunch out somewhere. Or if I didn't go get lunch out somewhere, I wanted to go out to dinner somewhere. Cause your girl liked to eat. I do. So yes, I needed to understand those things. I needed to identify my area. I needed to be honest with myself about why. And I needed to choose one area. Once I stopped doing the Starbucks every day and stopped going out to eat and doing Starbucks every day, my finances changed dramatically. Because we all know one Starbucks cup is what, $5, $7, depending on the size. $5, $8, $6, $9. You know what I'm talking about, depending on what drink you get. And don't get no cake, no sandwich with it. You get what I'm talking about. I'm simply saying we want to start baby steps, right? One thing this week. I want to hear what you picked too. Make sure you tell me in the comments what you picked. What area was your struggle area, and what area, what you did this week, your action step. Because we're here to help you, right? Please understand, we are here to help you. Black Wellness Exchange exists because Black Wellness Exchange, because our community deserves a space to be able to talk openly and honestly about wellness and understand that it's more than just physical wellness. So I encourage you to reflect a bit this week and come back next week because I want you to hear what we talk about next week too. But, so I'm going to leave you with this question again. What area of wellness is quietly breaking your life? And more importantly, what are you ready to do about it? So until next time, I want you to think about that, right? Take care of yourself and be well.